has awakened. The horsepower and torque you always knew was there, just waiting to make every drive thrilling. Track tested, off-road proven, performance for everything you drive. Drive better with K&N.
Every bit of paint traded for every hard-fought place. Every checkered flag and trophy raised. Every ounce of dirt, sweat, and gears. They're all jammed inside every can of NOS Energy. Go ahead, open up a can.
Hey, are you caught in the tariff trap, rising costs, and unpredictable delays? Well, it's time to reshore, reclaim, and reinvent with Parallax Group Incorporated. With over 30 years of expertise, we deliver high-quality assembly and manufacturing solutions right here in North America. Our strategically located facility near the U.S. border ensures faster distribution and reduced logistics costs. Experience efficiency, control, and excellence in every product. Parallax Group Incorporated, quality assembly processes in North America.
For the Ruts and Guts thrill ride of the USAC Amsoil Sprint Car National Championship.
They have big hearts and a whole lot of horsepower, brave souls, and the will to win. They are the local heroes, and they live for the sound of thunder.
A simple dirt oval cut out of the Ohio farmland in 1954, it has become the proving ground of drivers, of careers. It has tested the limits of every discipline you could possibly imagine. It's Eldora Speedway, and this is night number 1 of Let's Race 2. Hello race fans, welcome to tonight's presentation of the United States Auto Club featuring the USAC Amsoil Sprint Car National Championship. This is Let's Race 2, and of course that means we are joined by the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars, and we have drivers with that going right with the theme of Let's Race 2. Logan Seavey, one of the drivers who is going to race 2 here this weekend.
And Brady Bacon is the other. Brian, of course, he's a threat no matter what he races here at Eldora. I feel like if he raced a bicycle, he'd be right in the mix for the win. But certainly Brady's won here with the wing. Without the wing, he's going to be a threat too. But you talked about Logan Seavey too. I always find Logan Seavey so fascinating at this place. Of course, a few years back, won all 3 USAC national features in a night here. Of course, at Sprint Car Midget and Silver Crown during the 4 Crown Nationals. And that night, he was attempting to run all 4 with the wing car. Unfortunately, didn't get the win that night in the wing car. But if there's anybody here that knows how to manage themselves, not only in the race cars, but with bouncing back and forth and physically too, Logan Seavey's definitely one of those guys.
He definitely is, and he had a chance to talk with them about that. Let's hear what he had to say.
There's 2 drivers running double duty here at Let's Race 2. Logan Seavey, one of the 2. Of course, the other is the Macho Man, Brady Bacon. So we can expect to see Logan Seavey in this Abacus Racing 57 entry with the USAC National Sprint Cars and the CB Industries 87 for the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars. And Logan, I know this isn't as physically demanding as 4 Crown, but I know you've been running a lot more wing races lately too. So do you kind of have to do a mental reset every time you get into a different race car? Do you have to tell yourself, okay, I'm in the wing car now. Okay, now I'm in the non-wing car and I have to adjust my driving, or does it just come natural for you?
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, I think it's just kind of, naturally, once you kind of sit in the car and you get fired off, you kind of just going through the motions of, getting lined up and things. You kind of runs through your brain and your body about, the differences in the cars and things like that. So, yeah, there's especially here later in the night, there's the vast difference in speed and corner speed and entry speed and things like that. So, yeah, your brain kind of has to adjust pretty quick to know, what to do in either car to just kind of, obviously to be fast here and to be able to run with the best wing and non-wing guys in the world. So, so yeah, I mean, I think for the most part, I've been racing long enough where it kind of just kind of runs through my head naturally, and you get out there and you do what you can. And yeah, the wing car is definitely a little harder for me, especially at a place like this where dirty air and things plays a little bit of a factor. Getting through that first corner clean is really big, and can either gain or cost you a lot of spots. It's a really important place.
This is almost like half price for Crown in a way too, just because you run half as many cars, but it's still physically demanding. Of course, the non-wing sprint car is physically demanding, the wing sprint car physically demanding. So talk about how you have to prepare and tackle this race, even though it is just 2 cars that you're running.
Yeah, just kind of showing up prepared, with working out and cardio and weightlifting and things like that. Just being really just prepared to race and have a physical, job, and just be able to be up to the task of doing things like this is just kind of part of it. And I've been back in the gym pretty hard this year after taking a little bit of time off when probably shouldn't have, but yeah, with Lane and everything, it kind of makes getting away a little bit harder. But yeah, now I've been back in the gym a lot and working out hard, and feel really good about it and feel good about driving both cars. And yeah, I'm able to go run the wing car and get out of the car. And usually when you kind of get into something new or different or a little bit faster, things just happen quicker. The pace changes. Maybe you hold your, maybe not hold your breath, but you kind of are just gripping the wheel a little tighter, and things are just different. So once you kind of get used to that car and settle in, then everything kind of slows down and comes a little bit more naturally and feels less physical, even though you're doing the same job. But yeah, it seems like once you kind of get running those cars consistently, everything kind of comes a little bit easier. And now that I've gotten 8 or 10 races in this year, I feel good about running the wing car, and obviously always feel good about this non-wing car here at Eldora.
Logan Seavey, he's had a lot of speed with and without the wing in his career here at the Eldora Speedway. He could be a threat to double dip here over the course of the weekend in the wing and non-wing cars.
So it'll be interesting to see how Logan does tonight with both the wing and non-wing. And now another driver we had a chance to talk to, Jacob Boxell, who is making his sprint car debut in USAC national competition. But doesn't mean he doesn't have experience here. In fact, he has podium grade experience here on the midget side.
Yeah, it was a really strong run last year here during the 4 Crown Nationals. Was on the podium that night with his teammate Kevin Thomas Jr. at 4 Kings Racing. But JB not only experienced here at Eldora, but now experienced in sprint cars. Last weekend was his first back-to-back race weekend in a non-wing sprint car. Went up to Michigan, raced with the Boss Series, and then also to Lincoln Park Speedway in Indiana for local competition. He was in the top 5 both nights. And of course, he's got Matt Westfall on the wrenches here again tonight. Matt, so successful in everything he drove here. Stock cars and non-wing sprint cars mainly were Matt's bread and butter here. Track champion, and he got his first USAC national win here a number of years ago too. So JB's definitely got some good company on the wrenches tonight.
He definitely does. Interesting to see how he does here tonight. Let's hear what he had to say.
Jacob Boxell has certainly turned heads in the Nossinger Drink USAC National Midget Championship. Tonight he makes his USAC Amsoil Sprint Car National Championship debut here at the Big E during Let's Race 2. And Jacob, not your first time in a sprint car. You got a race last weekend with Boss and also on the local level out at Lincoln Park Speedway. A really good weekend in the top 5 both nights. So how you feeling about your debut with the big boys of the USAC National Sprint Cars tonight?
Yeah, I feel pretty good. I feel pretty confident, but this place can bite you as fast as it can hurt you. So it's cool to be able to do it with Matt, as he's a big key on the 4 Kings stuff, and to be able to put this sprint car team together with him and my family and stuff, and be able to go out and compete our first weekend out, it was pretty good. So we'll have to see what we can do against these USAC guys.
You ran here last year during the 4 Crown Nationals, was on the podium one night, and you talked about Matt, of course, so instrumental in your career. And I think of Matt's career, here, especially here at Eldora. He won with this series. He won in a lot of different types of race cars here at the Big E. How comforting, I guess is the right word to maybe say, to have a guy like Matt in your corner that has done and seen it all here at Eldora?
It's definitely good. If you could probably take a guess on how many laps here, I'm sure we would all be off by a couple thousand, I would say. But it feels cool to be able to debut at a track that he's had so much success at, and that's like another thing that I think is very key about feeling comfortable about debuting here at Eldora. I know a lot of people think this place is pretty gnarly, and I wouldn't take that away from them, but yeah, it feels pretty cool to be able to do it, like I said, with Matt and all of our great partners that help us out to be able to do this on like a family local level.
Well, and you talked about it too. I've talked to a few teams even this week that said we built a new car, or this is going to be our first race of the season. We don't want to come to Eldora just because we know the havoc this place can wreak. But yet you decided to make your USAC national debut here. Take us through the process of deciding to make your debut here, because, like I said, I don't think anybody would have blamed you if you stayed home and maybe waited for the week of Indy to make your debut with the series.
Yeah, it was kind of funny. Like you said, we ran pretty good last weekend, and Matt said, yeah, if you run good, we can go there. We like racing. Matt likes going, and I like driving. So we're not going to say no to a 45-minute drive down the road and come here and turn some laps at the Big E.
Jacob Boxell, he's definitely shown some speed here in a midget before. Tonight he makes his Amsoil USAC National Sprint Car Championship debut.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Eldora, night number 1 of Let's Race 2, featuring the USAC Amsoil Sprint Car National Championship, along with the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars. 32 drivers checked in for USAC National Sprint Car Competition. Engine heat going on down in the infield. We'll have our Dirt Draft Hot Laps coming up here in just a little bit, followed by our Learn Lab qualifying. After that, we will break from the broadcast here on FloRacing. Things will switch over to Dirt Vision, and the World of Outlaws will take over for their Hot Laps and their qualifying sessions. We'll come back to the broadcast when we go into our opening rounds of heat races. USAC heat races will be up first. Then the World of Outlaws will follow. They'll have their heat races followed by their dash draw. The 5-Star Bodies USAC semi-feature event will follow that. That'll be back on Flow. Back over to the World of Outlaws for their dash as well as their last chance showdown, and then we will start things off with feature competition. USAC up first for their 30 laps, followed by the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars to end out the evening. Busy stretch of racing coming up in USAC competition across all 3 divisions of national touring. Looking ahead on that schedule as cars begin to make their way down into the staging lane. The week of Indy is coming up. Sprint cars and Silver Crown competition going to be taken to the racetrack this coming week. Of course, you can check the entire schedule when you go online to USACracing.com. One of the neat things that Richie has done in updating the website throughout the course of the last couple of years is now there is a combined national schedule on there. So all of the national events from Sprint Car, Midget, as well as Silver Crown competition, all under the same tab, so you can check that out. Circle City Raceway, the salute to the Circle City, going to be on May 21st. Before we get to that, though, we have got the Terre Haute Action Track on May 20th. The Hoosier 100, Lucas Oil Indianapolis Raceway Park on May 22nd. We end out the month of May at the Knoxville Raceway in Knoxville, Iowa. That is the Avante Windows and Doors Corn Belt Clash. Tickets on sale at KnoxvilleRaceway.com. Into the month of June, it's easier to tell you how many days we're not racing versus how many days we are. In fact, there's only about 11 days in the month of June that we are not on track, and it all kicks off with a 2-night affair at Red Hill Raceway up in Sumner, Illinois. Before the big cars return to the big track, we're talking Worldwide Technology Raceway, all a part of the NTT IndyCar weekend. 1 ticket and all the action. That is going to be on Sunday, June 7th. Indiana Midget Week kicks off at Circle City on June 9th, Paragon and Lincoln Park Speedway, Bloomington, Tri-State, and of course it all ends up at Kokomo on June 14th. Of course, you can find this and everything you need to know about United States Auto Club when you go to USACracing.com. AMSOIL is the title sponsor of the USAC Sprint Car National Championship. The AMSOIL Shop by Vehicle tool at AMSOIL.com takes the guesswork out of picking the best oil and filter combination for your vehicle. Choose the right product and packaging option. Enjoy fast, free delivery right to your door. Go to AMSOIL.com to learn more. High-performance racing demands high-performance energy. That's NOS Energy, fueling USAC's fastest drivers and fans all season long. Grab yours at the NOS Energy sampling booth and get after it. Cookout presents always fresh, never frozen burgers, barbecue, and hot dogs, all cooked fresh every day. And get this, over 40 different flavors of shakes, all prepared fresh and made by hand every day. It's all yours. Find a Cookout location near you. Go to cookout.com. Sunoco is the world's largest manufacturer of racing fuels and has been the standard in motorsports for over 50 years. Known for innovation, consistency, and high performance, Sunoco Fuels has been the choice of racers from grassroots tracks to premier international series. Go to SunocoRaceFuels.com to learn more. There's still time to set your lineup. Download the Dirt Draft app today to set up your league and play against your friends, family, or even your neighbors. Remember, there's 3 different leagues to choose from. You have the Pro League, that locks in a qualifying, the Veteran League, which locks in a heat race number 1, and the Rookie League, which locks in at the start of the A feature. They also offer predictive contests, so one of those might be, will so-and-so qualify in the top 3? Will this driver finish in the top 5? And every new subscriber and reactivating subscriber gets a 25% off gift card to the Hoosier Tire online merchandise store. Check it out in the App Store. That is Dirt Draft. And, of course, we have our Driver v. Driver.
And Drake York has that.
Indeed I do, Brian, and Briggs Danner has dominated the driver v driver matchup. I think this is his 5th win in a row. He got down at the Tri-State Speedway in the driver v driver matchup just a few weekends ago. He'll face off against tall Trey Osborne. Let's take a look at their respective lineups. Briggs Danner on the left-hand side of your screen at USAC Driver 1. That's when you play in the Pro Public Lobby with our friends at Dirt Draft. He has selected Brady Bacon, Robert Ballou, Hayden Reinbold, Trey Osborne, and Ryan Barr. And to his right, once again, his opposition is Trey Osborne. He's at USAC Driver 2. He's chosen Brady Bacon, Cale Coons, Max Adams, himself, and Zach Pretorius. And remember, if you play in that public lobby, the pro public lobby, that is, with our friends at Dirt Draft, you too can play against your favorite USAC drivers here tonight for night number 1 of Let's Race 2.
Thank you very much. Hoosier Tires' mission is to be the dominant customer-driven provider of racing tires to teams domestically and internationally. For more information on the tires designed for champions, go online to HoosierTire.com. The K&N Clean Air Award will be presented to the driver who leads the most laps during each USAC National A feature throughout the 2026 season. The award is designed to recognize sustained performance at the front of the field where engine efficiency, reliability, and meticulous preparation are at a premium. Shop for your vehicle or even your home now at knfilters.com. K1 Race Gear is proud to be one of the very few companies to outfit any driver from kids at K1 Speed to USAC champions. Wear K1 Race Gear and join their list of champions today. Go online to k1racegear.com. K1 Race Gear, the official fire suit provider for our infield team in USAC competition. TJ Forge Wheels was founded to build the best no-compromise forged wheels for the motorsports industry. Product quality, safety, and customer service are driving factors for TJ Forge, and they are committed to being your first and only call for racing wheels. Go to tjforge.com to get started today. Whether you're running a go-kart, a micro, midget, modified, sprint car, late model, Silver Crown, or even a tractor, Rod Supply has the assortment of rod ends, radius rods, and specialty products that will help you to lead the field to performing to your maximum potential. Remember, they don't just sell them, they race them. Go online to rodsupply.com for more information. LGMG features a focus on safety and customer support for mobile elevating work platforms and telehandlers and brings an ever-expanding high-quality product line and a vision for growth. The company has a complete line of scissor lifts, agricultural booms, telescope booms, and rough terrain scissor lifts. Check out LGMGNA.com and lift your spirits today. And of course, they are the title sponsor of this year's running of Let's Race 2. Cars begin to make their way out onto the racing surface for Dirt Draft Hot Lap session number 1. Real quick, Drake with an update on a few drivers entering the racing surface.
Yeah, not only updates, Brian, but these guys are late entries. Of course, talking about Harley Burns in the 16, Tony Hilton in the 87H, and the 16, or rather the 24M of Hunter Maddox. These cars showed up within the last 20 minutes. There you see Harley Burns on your screen right there. He and Tony Hilton actually share a hauler, and they were going to race tonight at the Bloomington Speedway in local competition. Unfortunately, things getting rained out at Bloomington, so they decided to load up their cars once more and tow to get here to the Eldora Speedway. Talking to Harley and Tony's crew just a few moments ago, they got here about 10 minutes ago. We're able to get the cars out of the trailer, through engine heat, fired off, and do a quick systems check to make sure they were good to go here for Dirt Draft Hot Laps. Hunter Maddox was on the same itinerary. However, he was able to make it here a bit ahead of Harley Burns and Tony Hilton. And the thing is, with USAC, if you call ahead and say, hey, look, I'm not going to be there in time to draw, please draw me in, they will pull a pill for you, and that will slot you into a group of hot laps and then eventually your qualifying spot, just like everybody else does. Some way, somehow, all 3 cars drew in the first group, so a heck of a day so far already for these 3 drivers before we've even turned a lap here at the Big E.
Indeed, on the scramble, as soon as they rolled through the gate, drivers out to the racing surface. Of course, just talking about one of them, Hunter Maddox out of Bedford, Indiana, the TJD Roofing and Exteriors, Cummins Power, DRC chassis number 24M. He'll come to speed as the green lights click on around the Eldora Speedway. Tall's also on the racetrack, racing into turn number 1 at Columbus, Ohio. That's Trey Osborne in the Industrial Hydraulics Incorporated Jet Fuel Trailer Sales number 6T. Driver behind him, Harley Burns out of Brazil, Indiana. The Brit Aero Timberland Lumber Company 16 Chevrolet DRC chassis number 16. Continuing the theme down the back straightway. Getting a look at Cale Coons out of Greencastle, Indiana. The Curb Records Mechanical Advantage Goleta Charters Neil Tire number 63 just past the flag stand. And the 19 AZ also on track. That is Mitchell Moles out of Raisin City, California. He rolls off at turn number 2 right now. Driver the Reinbold Inwood Motorsports, AME Electrical, Pacific Valley Transportation, number 19 AZ.
Of course, your current points leader and defending USAC National Sprint Car Champion, rolling out of the exit to number 4. That's Kyle Cummins out of Princeton, Indiana. The Avante Windows and Doors, Dugo Superfoods, Stanton Mach 1 chassis number 3P. The drivers on track again for Dirt Drive Hot Lap session number 1. For those of you just joining us here on the FloRacing broadcast or in the grandstands of the Eldora Speedway. Checkered flag flies. Kyle Cummins right now the quickest driver on track, a 16.409. Mitchell Moles a 16.544. Trey Osborne 16.561. Cale Coons a 16.822. Harley Burns 16.877. And Hunter Maddox a 17.149. Dirt Drive Hot Lap session number 2 will begin to push out onto the racing surface. And the first driver out to the clay, he was in victory lane 1 year ago at a Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, the Concord American flagpole. Racer Magazine, Jim Weed Rider, Triple X, Chris Dyson on number 20. That is the Macho Man, Brady Bacon. Coming in off of his first career victory in USAC Silver Crown competition in his initial start at a Gilbert, Arizona, the AME Electrical Stanton Spike, Reinbold Development Incorporated, number 19. That is Hayden Reinbold. Hayden Reinbold in the number 19. Driver rolling past him on the outside, that is C.J. Leary. He's out of Greenfield, Indiana. Driver of the Jarvis Enterprises, Foxco DRC, Bachelor Motorsports, Indy Metal finishing number 53. Driver sitting in behind him, that is the 87X of Paul Dews out of Minster, Ohio. Driver of the Federated Auto Parts, Himmelgarn Services, Claxton DRC chassis number 87. The straight 87 out of Rising Sun, Maryland, the Nation's Guard, PristineAuction.com, NOS Energy Drink, CB Industries with Spire Motorsports number 87. That is Steven Snyder Jr. Steven Snyder Jr. in the green and white, number 87. Out of Rockland, California, driver of the Suburban Subaru, Dean's Waterfront Services, Donna DRC number 12. The Madman, Robert Ballou on the back straightaway, making his way towards turn number 3. Midpoint to the back straightaway, that is Todd Hobson out of Klein, Victoria, Australia. Driver of the Drew Fab, Steel Products, One Way DRC, Bright Refinishes, number 44. Rolling into turn number 3 right now at Teelamore, New South Wales, Australia. Driver of the Skyline Building, Claxon Ripper, Supos, Hog Heaven, number 45 in. That is Troy Carey. Troy Carey in the 45 in. The 87H here on the front straightaway out of Spencer, Indiana. Driver of the Ace Corporation, AJ Philco Power, DRC, number 87H. That is Tony Helton. Tony Helton in the 87H. We'll wind him up and set him loose here in Dirt Drive Hot Lap session number 2. Checker flag and Dirt Drive Hot Lap session number 2. Brady Bacon up to the top of the boards, a 16.178. C.J. Leary, 16.344. Cal Cummins, a 16.409. Robert Ballou, 16.490. And Mitchell Moles rounds out the top 5 quickest drivers, 16.544. Trey Osborne, Todd Hobson, Cale Coons, Steven Snyder Jr., and Harley Burns currently make up the top 10. Parallax Group offers world-class power supply products to the RV industry. Parallax Group delivers high-quality assemblies and manufacturing solutions in North America that exceed client expectations, focusing on quality and efficiency to ensure their products lead the industry. Go to parallaxgroupinc.com for more information. Max Pappas Innovations takes every aspect of construction and safety to heart in the most accurate and dedicated way possible. For more, go to maxpappasinc.com.
When you pull into the work area in USAC competition, you're going to the Indy Metal Finishing work area, where their mission is to support their customers with an exceptional level of quality and service. Visit them today at indymetalfinishing.com for more information. Third round of Dirt Draft Hot Laps will begin to make its way out onto the racing surface. Looking to the exit of turn number 2, Jacob Boxell out of Zanesville, Indiana, making his way out to the Speedway, the NW Manufacturing. Lake City Bowl, Gressman DRC chassis number 54, making his way down the back straightway. Into turn number 3 out of Sutter, California, driving the Mountain Mechanical Contractor, Stanton DRC, Abacus Racing, 4-check marketing number 57. That is Logan Seavey. Seavey in the 57. Chase Stocking out of Fort Branch, Indiana, rolling down to the front straightway, the England Machine and Tool, Moments by Morgan, Lucas Oil Center, Kistler DRC, Moose Racing number 92. And on the front stretch, Logan Caldwell out of Goodyear, Arizona, the MP Environmental, GFT Ready Mix, one-way Triple X chassis, Chuck D's Wieners, number 6. Exit turn number 4, that's Jaden Rogers out of Worthington, Indiana, the Beasley's Railcar Repair, Spec DRC chassis, American Dream Racing, Parallax Motorsports, number 14. And Briggs Danner out of Allentown, Pennsylvania, driver the E. Schneider & Sons Recycling, Keystone Cab Boulevard Truck Repair, Rider DRC chassis, Hogue Racing Enterprises, number 39, here heading towards the flag stand. The 71B, Braxton Cummings out of Bedford, Indiana, the MPV by Caitlin Cummings, Terry Cummings Power, DRC, Rick's Automotive and Towing, Kindred Spirits, the Ace Corporation, number 71. Again, drivers on track for Dirt Draft Hot Lap session number 3 of 4. A total of 32 drivers checking in for night number 1 of Let's Race 2 here at the Eldora Speedway for the USAC AMSOIL Sprint Car National Championship. Checker flag flies on Dirt Draft Hot Lap session number 3. Beatty Bacon remains at the top at a 16.178. Logan Seavey second quick. Fastest driver in that session, off by 0.011 seconds to the Macho Man at a 16.189. Briggs Danner 16.250. CJ Leary 16.344. And Kyle Cummins at a 16.409. Stockton, Baloo, Moles, Osborne, Boxell, your top 10. Rogers, Hobson, Cale Coons, Steven Snyder Jr., and Harley Burns, your top 15. Final flight of Dirt Draft Hot Laps out to the Speedway at Loomis, California. Driving the Dick Lumpkin's Auto Body, Claxon DRC chassis, Mark Nub Muffler and Tire, Kaiser. SNH Nurse number 40, that is Max Adams. Max Adams making his way onto the back straightway. The 14C rolling behind him, the Schmoes Collision, Jack's Trucking, D&D Power, DRC. Carly Arts and Graphics number 14C, that is Nate Carly. Nate Carly in the 14C. Rolling around to the front straightway out of Ione, California, driving the NOS Energy Drink, MPV Logistics, Top Industries, G&G Racing Fuels, AMSOIL number 4. That is Justin Grant. Grant in the number 4. The 5T out of Anaheim, California, the Inland Rigging, Darty Motorsports, One Way Power, DRC, Snake Enterprises, Roll Scavating entry. That is Jake Swanson. Swanson in the number 5. The 9Z, that's Zach Pretorius out of Yorktown, Indiana, driving the T.A. Smith Distributing, Oak Motors, Pizza King, G&G Oil Company, number 9Z. Driver in 4J out of Guilford, Indiana, driving the Impressive Creations, Wagner Reserve, Westerfeld Power, DRC number 4J. That is Sean Westerfeld. Westerfeld in the Fischesser Owen Racing number 4J. 21K onto the Speedway. That is Kobe Simpson out of Bonham, Texas. The two gals in a little vehicle Packing Company, Rana Supply, number 21K. Gobi down the front straightaway. The 40 of Adams on the front straightaway. Talked about him a little bit a minute ago. You got Carly. You also have Ryan Barr out to the Speedway. Out of Piqua, Ohio. Driver of the Stipples Home and Auto LLC. O'Reilly Machine Tool Services. DRC Claxton Power number 21. The 3R, Kevin Thomas Jr. The Rock City Racing, Majestic Electric, Hinland Ringenberg Racing number 3R at speed on the back straightaway as we go to green. A third round hot lap session number 4. Problems for the 40 of Adams slowing here on the front straightaway. Caution light's going to have to come on. So coming to stop down to the bottom side of turn number 1. They'll get a push vehicle in behind him. They'll get Adams cleared down into the pit area. Hopefully they'll be able to get problems rectified before we kick off Learn Lab qualifying. Brady Bacon so far has been the quickest in dirt draft hot laps with a time of 16:178. Logan Seavey 16:189. Briggs Danner 16:250. CJ Leary is 16:344, and Kyle Cummins 5th quick at a 16:409. Again, a reminder for those of you who are watching online on FloRacing, with Let's Race 2, this is a split broadcast program, so USAC competition will be live on Flo. World of Outlaws NOS Engineering Sprint Cars will be on Dirt Vision, so you will have to go back and forth. Just a quick programming note as we go back to green. Dirt draft hot laps in the books. Brady Bacon holds on to the top spot, 16:178. Quickest driver on track for that session was Justin Grant, a 16:267. Puts him 4th quick overall. So it's Bacon, Seavey, Danner, Grant, and Leary. Ends up being your 5 quickest drivers in dirt draft hot laps. Learn Lab qualifying coming up here in just a moment. Learn Lab is a maker of award-winning hands-on industrial job skills training systems using curriculum, classroom tools, and rugged hands-on training panels. Learn Lab teaches the necessary skills with real tools and components to help schools, colleges, and companies simply train their people to be better at what they do. Go to learnlab.com for more information. $150 to the driver who is quickest in Learn Lab qualifying. 3 cars at a time will enter out to the Speedway. The official one-lap track record established by Jerry Coons Jr. in September of 2006, 14.712 seconds, 122.349 average miles per hour. Follow along with qualifying in the palm of your hand. You can download My Race Pass to keep up on everything happening. A reminder, if you see it on the My Race Pass app as well as social media, it is unofficial. Real quick, an update on Max Adams.
Brian, I was just back in the pit area a little bit ago. They told me they've been battling a fuel leak, getting that motor ready for this week. They don't think it's leaking fuel right now, but certainly not running on Max Adams' car. We'll see if he can make it out here and Learn Lab qualifying.
Thank you very much. First 3 drivers pushing out to the Speedway. They will be led by Harley Burns out of Brazil, Indiana, driver of the Britt Aero Timberland Lumber Company, 16 Chevrolet DRC Youngblood Farms, the acecorp.com, number 16. The 6T out to the Speedway as well. That's Trey Osborne out of Columbus, Ohio, the Industrial Hydraulics Incorporated, Jeff Hill Trailer Sales, Hidden Hoof Hollow Farms, Beachwold Automotive, number 6T. And the 24. Also out on the racetrack, that is Hunter Maddox out of Bedford, Indiana, the TJD Roofing and Exteriors, Megacorp Logistics, Midwest Septic Services, Auto Credit Buy Here, Pay Here, number 24M. coming around to start the clock. Last time by, they are on the clock now, 16.812. The mark to beat by Harley Burns. Trey Osborne betters that to a 16.360. And Hunter Maddox goes right between the two at a 16.571. So Tall right now with the top of the speed charts at a 16.360 second lap. Osborne, one other Eldora feature start here in Fort Crown in 2024, where he ran 16th. Second time by, a little bit slower for Trey Osborne, 16.591. Maddox, likewise, his opening lap, his best attempt at a 16.571. And Harley Burns, his second time around better, 16.811. Next three drivers going to push out to the Speedway. They will be led by the 19 AZ of Mitchell Moles out of Raisin City, California. The AME Electrical, Maciavella Transportation, Indy Race Parts, Reinbold Underwood Motorsports, Stanton Spike Chassis, number 19 AZ. Also going to be joined by your current USAC National Sprint Car Points leader at Princeton, Indiana, the Avante Windows and Doors, Jugo Superfoods, Premier Recycling, Apache Transport, Lifestyle Homes with 3P. That's going to be Kyle Cummins. And the 87H, Tony Helton out of Spencer, Indiana, the Ace Corporation, DRC Chassis, number 87H. As they'll come around, they will start the clock. Trey Osborne again, right now with the time to beat after your first three qualifiers out to the Speedway at a 16.360. Mitchell Moles gets close, 0.089 seconds off of the pace of Tall, a 16.449, but Kyle Cummins comes around quick time at a 16.157, 16.157 seconds for Kyle Cummins in the number 3P. 16 Eldora starts, 9 of those here in Let's Race 2. He ran third 1 year ago. Moles coming around better, lap number 2, 16.328. Cummins likewise a 16.042. He'll open the margin a little bit, and Helton coming around, his second time by, better for him, 16.930. So Kyle Cummins now to the top of the boards here in Learn Lab qualifying. Next trio drivers out to the Speedway. Brady Bacon, last year's winner of Let's Race 2 at Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. Driver of the Concord American Flagpole Racer Magazine. Rider XXX Chris Dyson Racing in number 20. Going to move out to the Speedway. He'll be followed by Cale Coons out of Greencastle, Indiana. Driver of the Curb Records Mechanical Advantage, Goleta Charters, Neil Tire, Impact Racing Optics, Joe Dooling, Kermit Gajani, number 63. He'll come around to start his lap, and the third driver on the clock is going to be Todd Hobson out of Client, Victoria, Australia. Driver of the Drew Fab, Steel Products, One Way DRC, Bright Refinishes, JST Shock Technologies, Be the Match Willwood, number 44. Bacon coming around in the 20, his opening lap, fourth quick at a 16.449. Cale Coons goes sixth quick at a 16.637. Hobson's opening lap, the Drew Fab entry, going to go ninth quick at a 17.040. Bacon in the 20. 6 overall wins here at Eldora in Sprint Car, Silver Crown, and with the All-Star Circuit of Champions. Second quick on his second time by, 16.307. Cale Coons a little bit slower his second time by. He'll stand on his opening lap at 16.637. And Todd Hobson gets into the 16-second bracket. His second time around, 16.953. 7 overall victories in Eldora competition for the driver to Rockland, California. The Suburban Subaru, Dean's Waterfront Services, Donut DRC. Burke's Western Telecom, England Machine until number 12. The Madman, Robert Blue, going to come around to start the clock here. He's going to be joined on track by the 45N, Troy Carey out of Tillamore, New South Wales, Australia. The Skyline Building, Claxon Ripper Chassis, and the 87X. Paul Dews out of Minster, Ohio, driver of the Federated Auto Parts, Himmelgarn Services, Claxon DRC Chassis, number 87. Blue coming around, 7th quick on his opening lap, 16.722. Winner in night number 1 of the 2024 Let's Race 2, and the closest finish in the history of this event. Difference of 0.016 seconds at the line. Dews is 12th quick, and his opening lap is 17.274. Second time by for Blue, better 5th quick. He'll shave off a little over 0.2 of a second at a 16.470. Troy Carey, slower lap number 2, a 16.542, and his opening lap will be the lap that he'll stand on. And Paul Dews, improves on time, not position. 12th quick, a 17.241, second time by. Driver making his USAC National Sprint Car debut at a Rising Sun, Maryland. Driver of the Nation's Guard, PristineAuction.com, NOS Energy Drink, Team CB Industries with Spire Motorsports. A Spike with a Stanton number 87. This is Steven Snyder Jr. Steven Snyder Jr. out to the Speedway. He'll be joined on track as they make their way through turns 3 and 4. 87 down across the stripe. He will break the beam. And C.J. Leary to Greenfield, Indiana, coming around the Jarvis Enterprises, Matador Motorsports, number 53. Along with Hayden Reinbold of the Gilbert, Arizona, the AMA Electrical Reinbold Development Incorporated, Mississippi Valley Transportation, number 19. Reinbold, winner in midget competition here last year during Fort Crown Nationals. Steven Snyder Jr., 9th quick in his open lap, 16.687. Leary, 5th quick at a 16.439. And Reinbold 7th quick at a 16.491. Of course, going to victory lane last Saturday out at Salt City in Hutchinson, Kansas in Silver Crown competition. Snyder Better jumps to 4th quick at a 16.337. Leary 16.518. Better on lap number 1. And Reinbold, lap number 2. Better goes to 6th quick at a 16.360. Out of Sutter, California, rolling out to the Speedway, the Mount Mechanical Contractors, Dropline, Indy Power Sports, CGCPA's Abacus Racing number 57, Logan Seavey. Six-time feature starter in Let's Race 2 behind the wheel of the number 57. He'll be joined on track by Chase Stockton at Fort Branch, Indiana. The Engel Machine and Tool, Moments by Morgan, Lucas Oil Center. Superior Tank and Trailer, S&T Auto, 10 Prime Quality Paint and Body number 92. And the 6 of Logan Calderwood in search of his first Eldora A feature start here in USAC National Sprint Car Competition. The MP Environmental GFT Ready Mix One-Way Triple X. Rex's Tattoo and Massage Parlor number 6. Seavey coming around. Quick time, 15.892. 15892 seconds on his opening lap. Stock in 10th quick. And Logan Calderwood 13th quick. A 16.625 for Calderwood on his first attempt. Trying to improve his time. Lap number 2. Can he get it done? Seavey slower second time around. 16.083. His opening lap will be the one he stands on. Stock in 3rd quick. A 16.149. And Calderwood, his opening lap will be his best attempt, as lap number 2 was a 16.740. But new driver to the top of the speed charts, Logan Seavey, quickest so far here in Learn Lab qualifying. Victory Lane, the destination on the night before the Crowns for Briggs Danner in 2025. He'll roll out to the Speedway in the Schneider & Sons Recycling, Keystone Cap Boulevard Truck Repair, Ryder, DRC, Oshucks, Roast to Corn, Apache Transport number 39. He's going to be joined by the 14 of Jaden Rogers out of Worthington, Indiana, the Beasley Railcar Repair, American Dream Racing, Spec DRC, Parallax Motorsports, Midwest Downhill Services number 14. And third driver out to the Speedway, it is Jacob Boxell at his Zanesville, Indiana, driver of the Lake City Bowl, Tilton Trucking, Heitmeyer Concrete, Middle Aid 1, Acroseal, Four Kings Racing, Performance Powder Coating at number 54. Lap number 1 for Danner, 4th quick, a 16.280. Jaden Rogers, 11th quick at a 16.446. And the first time by for Boxell, 20th quick, a 17.217. 9 feature starts here at Eldora. 5 of those in Let's Race 2 for Briggs Danner as he improves on time, not position. 4th quick at a 16.153. Rogers, slower second time around, a 16.652. And Boxell does improve on time a little bit, 17.143 second time by. The time they're all chasing right now, Logan Seavey, 15.892, is the only driver so far in the 15-second bracket. Cummins currently 2nd quick. Stockton, Danner, and Bacon currently make up the top 5. 6-time winner in USAC competition, 3-time winner in Let's Race 2, the NOS Energy Drink, the MPV Logistics. Top Industries, G&G Racing Fuel, Amsoil, Stanton Max at number 4. This is Justin Graham. Justin Graham bringing the Top Industries number 4 to speed here. The 71B, that is Braxton Cummings out of Bedford, Indiana. Driver the Rick's Automotive and Towing, Terry Cummings, DRC number 71B. And the 4J, that is Sean Westerfeld at Guilford, Indiana. The Impressive Creations, Wagner Reserve, Westerfeld, DRC Schmoes, Collision number 4J. Justin Grant, lap number 1, going to be 5th quick for him, a 16.220. Braxton Cummings, 21st, a 17.053. And Westerfeld, 18th quick at a 16.715. Runner-up finish last Saturday night out at Hutch in Silver Crown competition for Grant. Comes around, quick time, 15.875. 15875 second for Justin Grant. Second time by for Cummings, a little bit slower, 17.086, and better for Westerfeld, a little bit, 16.631, his second time around. But new driver to the top of the charts here and Learn Lab qualifying, it's Justin Graham with a 15.875. Out of Piqua, Ohio, driver the Stiffles Home and Auto, Claxton DRC, O'Reilly Machine Tool Services. CDS Mobile Power Wash number 21B out to the Speedway. That's going to be Ryan Barr. He's going to be joined by Zach Pretorius at Yorktown, Indiana. The T.A. Smith Distributing, Claxton DRC, G&G Oil Company number 9Z. And the 14C, that is Nate Carley. Carley coming to us out of West Harrison, Indiana. The Schmoes Collision, Jack's Trucking, D&D Racing Engine, DRC Chassis number 14. Ryan Barr in the 21B coming around, a 4-time starter here at Eldora. 2 of those here in Let's Race 2. 23rd last year. Pretorius coming around, 19th quick in his opening lap. Nate Carley going to come around to take that time away, 16.685 for the driver of the number 14C. Barr skating his way to the top of 3 and down to the bottom, exiting to number 4. We'll see how he does on lap number 2. He'll lose time. A 17.153 on his opening lap will be the one he stands on. And everybody going on lap number 1 there, all 3 coming across the stripe. As your next three drivers going to roll out to the Speedway, they'll be led by Jake Swanson out of Anaheim, California. The Inland Rigging, Darty Motorsports, One-Way DRC, Snake Enterprises, Roll Scouting, Burris Racing, number 5T. Second out to the track is going to be KTJ, Kevin Thomas Jr. out of Coleman, Alabama. The Majestic Electric, Inland Rigging, Bird Racing, Stanton Mach 1 Chassis, Rocksteady Racing, number 3R. And the third driver out to the Speedway is going to be the 21K of Kobe Simpson out of Bonham, Texas. The B-Town Automotive Circle C Adventures, Candidate DRC, Rush Race Gear, number 21K. 5T coming around on his opening lap. Swanson going to go 6 quick at a 16.302. Kevin Thomas Jr. 6 quick at a 16.238. And Kobe Simpson 18th quick at a 16.596. Swanson 7 starts in Let's Race 2. He ran 14th here 1 year ago. Comes around 3rd quick at a 15.999. And Kevin Thomas Jr. 7th quick, a 16.201. And Kobe Simpson going to stay at 18th for the time being, a 16.866 on his second lap, a 16.596 on lap number 1 for that driver. So a couple of drivers at the end of qualifying not coming out for their slotted position. They will get 1 lap on the clock and cannot start better than the bottom 50% of the field. Brandon Maddox out of Terre Haute, Indiana. The Whitman Roofing, TCB Speed, Gressman, DRC Chassis, Shelter Insurance Company, number 28. That car a little rough on the running as he rolls down into turns 1 and 2. Looks like he is going to go ahead and slow her down, and he'll head to the exit. Adams, as they reported earlier, fueling issues on that machine. Looks like they have got that car rolling now. The driver to Loomis, California, driving the marked up muffler and tire. Kaiser, S&H Nurse, number 40. Picking up a win last week with the Boss Series out at Lawrenceburg. He'll come around and he will find the checkered flag, and he'll go 16th at a 16.535. So Learn Lap qualifying in the books here for the USAC AMSOIL Sprint Car National Championship. 5th quick tonight was Chase Stockett. 4th quick was Kyle Cummins. 3rd was Jake Swanson. 2nd was Logan Seavey. And for the 2nd week in a row, he is your Learn Lab quick qualifier in USAC National Competition. Driving the NOS Energy Drink, Kimby Logistics, Top Industries at Stanton Maxim AMSOIL number 4. Race fans, give him a hand, Justin Grant. 2nd week in a row, and technically his 4th quick qualifying time in those 2 weeks. Last week in Silver Crown competition, got the track record. Mother Nature intervened. They had to run it again. He beat his track record, and oh, by the way, then beat it again. And now tonight, your Learn Lab quick qualifier. Down trackside to Christy.
So Justin Grant going to pick up tonight's Let's Race 2, night number 1, Learn Lab Fast Qualifying Award. Justin, obviously a lot of race cars here, a lot of really fast race cars here at Eldora Speedway. By the end of the night, track position becomes pretty important. Were those the 2 most important laps that you might run all night?
It's definitely important to get qualified good here, especially it gets stretched out, and yeah, certainly makes your job easier all night if you can start in the invert. And so NOS Energy Drink, Top Motorsports, MPV Logistics number 4 was really good there. I didn't really know. I felt like it really lugged when I went to the bottom there, but must have just had tires in the racetrack and was hooked up. So like that, and we'll keep tuning on it and try and keep it up front tonight.
You are 2nd on the list of active drivers for all-time wins here with the AMSOIL USAC National Sprint Cars at Eldora Speedway. Does tonight seem like a good night to tie that record?
Yeah, might as well. We come all this way.
So Justin Grant going to pick up night number 1's Let's Race 2 Learn Lab Fast Qualifying Award.
Thank you very much. With that, we're going to step away here on the FloRacing broadcast as the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars make their way down to the staging lanes, and we'll switch over to Dirt Vision, and with that, we'll go over to John Gibson.